Stacy is a leader in every sense of the word. She is a person that everyone looks to as first at the frontier of her field and now one of the senior members of her field and helping it grow, helping it expand.
She's sort of like the godmother to everybody in the field. And I hesitate to say godmother because it implies that she's old, but she's a crazy, amazing leader.
I grew up in northeastern Oklahoma in the 1970s, and it was that same time period that the tribes in that area, my own tribe, Cherokee Nation, but also Muskogee Creek Nation and others, were rebuilding their governments from the ground up. So I watched nation building going on the whole time that I was a child growing up.
She is one of the leading scholars you will find in the country, possibly in the world, on tribal sovereignty. And what's remarkable about that is she just doesn't just talk about sovereignty, she also talks about property law, tax law, natural resources, the full breadth.
She also is an amazing practitioner. I mean, she's a tribal judge today, but I think she was also the first woman who was on the Cherokee Nation's highest court. So not only does she report about the law, not only does she guide law schools and mentor law students, she also makes the law. And so I think that she really is one of the most impactful, if not the most impactful person in the field that we practice in today.
Our students adore her, in particular our Indian legal program students. It's a very close community and we feel very lucky to have her as a part of that community. There's a generation of Native lawyers, particularly female Native lawyers, who are in the positions they're in because of Stacy Leeds' mentorship.
My research focuses on indigenous nations and the laws and structures those nations create for themselves, for self-governance, and also on the law and history that informs the relationship between the United States and indigenous nations. I've had the luxury of being very embedded in a number of tribal communities and Native-led organizations. So it's a bi-directional energy for me. I can see on the ground what kinds of issues need more scholarly attention, but then also in my own work and in the work of others in the field, you can see the relevancy and the practical use of the work in communities and with individuals.
She's one of the first people who did any kind of empirical research on federal Indian law, American Indian tribal law, and one of the first, I think the first Native woman to become the dean of a law school.
Beyond the impact with the students and in the community, I'm refocusing a lot of my work now on land and natural resources. It blends into a social movement called Land Back, which focuses on making sure that decision-making processes are including tribes, if not transferring that power over to the tribes with land and natural resources.
She's taught so many law students. People are practicing in the field. People are leaders in the field. They look up to her. And it's just not surprising that she is the dean of the law school. It makes perfect sense. And her reputation is incredible.